So after the release of the Cloverfield Paradox, I went back and watched Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane because I was so mixed on Cloverfield Paradox that I wanted to go back and watch the other two because I remember enjoying Cloverfield 1 and I love 10 Cloverfield Lane, but the first Cloverfield movie is interesting because it's one that I liked, but it's one that I kind of forgot about. And rewatching it again, I kind of feel the same way. This movie I feel like is, in terms of like real people and critics, it is pretty mixed. Like people can love it or hate it, or people can be in between. And for me, I'm in between, but I don't know if it's for the same reasons. Like for me, I think I'm in between because to me, it's for me kind of forgettable. Like there are good things about it. I did really appreciate that this was a found footage monster movie. I think that's a cool idea. That's a really cool and intriguing idea. But it's just it felt like the movie is like it's interesting, but I feel like that's also its detriment to me is that it isn't as interesting as well. Like it's an interesting premise, but it never to me escalated to like something amazing. But it is good. It is a good movie, and I thought these characters were fun and interesting, and I liked how, as the movie went along, it's one of those movies where everybody dies, but as it goes along, like it builds really coolly to them dying and to the ending, and I thought that it was it got really intense as the movie went along. Like as it got towards the end, it got extremely intense, and I thought that to me is a big positive for it. But to me, it's forgettable in the sense that even though it's a cool idea, found footage creature movie, it's a found footage movie where you have characters talking about random stuff that doesn't equal out the plot or make anything that matters for the most part. And I felt like that a lot in this movie, and it's a shame because it's definitely not a bad movie. It's just not one that I think reached an amazing level of something, but it is a very cool idea. It is a very interesting idea, but it also makes it uninteresting. If that makes sense. At least to me, it makes it seem pretty pretty okay. Like it's not terrible, but it's not amazing. It's pretty good, but it's not like it never reaches the level of 10 Cloverfield Lane to me, which to me is the superior of the three, and to me is the one that uses the idea of the Cloverfield world, and every Cloverfield movie is different and unique, and I like that about this franchise. So far, they're all really unique and different, but I felt like this one is my second favorite, I guess, but 10 Cloverfield Lane is obviously my first, and then Paradox is the last, but none of them are really terrible at all. It's just, I felt like this one has a cool idea, but it's not an idea that I was interested in all the way through, but as it went along, it got more interesting, and it escalated really in a good way. And like it's weird. It's one of those movies where I'm mixed on it. I like it, but it's one that I forget. It's not one that I typically go back to often. So it's really hard to talk about this one, but pretty much that's all I can say about it. It's just pretty much it's got a lot of good things in it, but it's pretty forgettable.